Every self respecting gamer experiences all sorts of frustrations and struggles while playing video games. Blame it all on the poor game design, stupid controls, or the gamer just sucks donkey balls that the game gets abandoned altogether. In this episode, the Timeless Gamer crew discuss their stories of the different times when they curse, bitch, and moan to the brink of quitting their games.
Hello, everybody.
Whoa,
Welcome,
whoa, whoa,
welcome, people, to the
whoa.
fourth season of Timeless Gamer, where the games and gamers grow older while the gaming experiences remain timeless. Your weekend podcast show that discusses everything about video games, brought to you by the beautiful people of Pinoy Retro Gaming. If you are new to the program and just discovering us for the very first time, go and watch our previous live shows. Why don't you? By going to the Facebook page of Pinoy Retro Gaming, or by going to the YouTube page of Timeless Gamer PRG. And we are also broadcasting live on Twitch under the channel of Pinoy Retro Gaming. And if you just want to listen to us talk, that's okay, because the audio versions of our episodes are also available on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast by searching Timeless Gamer. And it's a full house today, ladies and gentlemen. To all of you guys watching us live, we got Sir Joel, Banyaga native, coming us from New Jersey.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be back. I'm sorry I haven't been around, but I did try to keep you guys company through the videos that I've been sending in. Thank you very much to Joe for showing them for me.
And of course, coming from the UK, Sir Dan, the man.
Hello, everybody. Hope you're all doing all well out there.
All right. Shout out to the doggy barking at the window, Sir Seabert.
Magandang gabi sa inyo, mga ka-retro gamers.
All right. And returning to the show, Sir Pao.
Good evening, everyone. It's Sir Pao joining once again with the Timeless crew, and hope that you will have a good time watching us and sharing your opinions with us.
All right. And of course, Miss Hanukkah99, Miss Charlene.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Welcome here to Timeless Gamer here. You're going to be here live. Please do watch our raging games here on Pinoy Retro Gaming. So let's go.
All right. And of course, making his debut right here in the Timeless Gamer Show, in our podcast, the one who you heard narrating our synopsis for this evening show. Pause it.
New blood coming in. Good evening, people. Welcome to the Timeless Gamer Show.
Yeah.
It sounds sexy.
So for this
Ooh la.
evening's episode, ladies and gentlemen, so we are talking about rage quitting. I think all of us have that. Have experienced some very quite frustrating gaming experience, one way or another, to the point that we tend to, I don't know, curse, bitch, moan, throw our controllers to the window, to the wall, to the floor, all sorts of stuff. And we are thankful for Sir Joel. Actually, he's the one who has suggested this topic for this episode. So we will give it to Sir Joel to lead the charge and discuss just a non-formal roundtable discussion all about rage quitting on our previous experiences. Sir Joel, take it away.
All right. Thank you very much, Joe. For today, we are doing an episode that describes our experiences with video games and rage quitting them. You know how you guys have always had, those moments when you would have trouble with a particular game, you would be frustrated with how it's presented to you or what's happening with how you're interacting with the game. This episode is all about that. We are going to be talking about how everybody has had those moments when you would really be frustrated with a particular game or something regards to a game. It can be something regarding not just the game itself, but also something about the game. We can talk about anything that you guys feel like. We can talk about anything that you want regarding rage quitting the game itself. But first things first, we're going to be defining it. Rage quitting is when you get frustrated in the game and you decide to either step away from it temporarily or permanently and decide to, do something crazy like throw your controller at the TV and have to look for a new TV during Black Friday,
Or punch
or
some random person.
yeah, or like punching out your brother who's player two, who's sitting right next to you. It can be anything. So it can be due to bad game design, can be due to bad pacing, it can be due to game bugs. If your character decided to phase through a wall and you got stuck there, you can rage quit and go crazy and step away from it. Terrible mechanics due to game difficulty. Either the game is too difficult or you don't have enough skill for you to be able to pass a certain level. So all of that, we are going to be discussing it. And first things first, I want to have a quick look at the comments. Maybe we can have Sir Pao say hi to some people in the chats. Sir Pao.
And we're gonna do just that, saying hi to everyone who has joined us on our coverage in Facebook. Ekoy Bolano mentioning our us paying respect to his favorite ranger, Jason David Frank. Rest in peace and rest in power. And we have here Juan De Marcos of 123 Go on Facebook and 123 Go Retro on Twitch saying hello to everyone, as well as others who are watching: Rob Altura and Momo Cringe and Sir Carlo, who finally has connected, and hopefully he could join us right now.
Yes, Sir Carlo, please. We miss you.
We miss
And of
you,
course,
Sir Carlo.
yes, and of course, let's not forget Miss Leroxy of
Uh,
the Lera Sinieres of the Leroxy Facebook game
eh,
page and Leroxy
yeah,
on Twitch as
Twitch.
well. Our favorite lady with three Y's instead of
Uh,
three X's. Uh,
yeah,
Because why not?
yeah, yeah.
three
And
Well,
say
Y's.
Momo Cringe is there. The
hello.
better half of Mamochu.
Amateur,
Hello.
yes.
A little,
And say hello to Jano.
yes, a little sidestep though. Thank you very much, Joe, for that intro that you provided of Jason David Frank. Our little tribute for the passing of a well-respected actor who portrayed the Green Ranger, I believe, Miss Charlene. Please tell
Green
us a little
Ranger,
bit.
White Ranger, Red Ranger.
Yeah, Miss Charlene.
Yes. Jason Den Frank.
David.
David Frank. Jason David Frank. One of the best actors. Known as the Green Rangers on Mighty Morphins. Also known as the Tiger Ranger on Mighty Morphins as well. Also the Black Ranger on Dino Thunder, and also he's Red Ranger
Zio.
and
Zio.
Zero. Yeah, and basically, he's a lot actually acting a lot of Rangers from the red, black, white, and green.
I see. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
personally speaking, I hope nobody gets offended with this. I never really got into the Power Rangers craze back in the 90s because I'm a 70. I was born in the 70s because of the fact that well, I was born in the 70s, but and my original Rangers were the Go Rangers, the very first
Oh,
Sentai, the Star Rangers from way
the
back in the
Japanese version.
1970s. So that's what I grew up with. And then Jack Q, and then I completely forgot the ones that came after. So for me, the Sentai experience of the Power Rangers was already old hat by the time that it got popular in the 90s. So I never really got into it. But the Star Rangers were my jam way back in the late 70s, going to the
Mhm.
early 80s. So,
I
uh,
Mhm.
I
no
actually
offense to the
I
Power
actually
Rangers
second that
Yeah.
one, Joe.
fanatics, but I fully respect your being fans of the new iteration of the Sentai series. Speaking of which, we might as well have a little shout out to everybody in Fisher Mall over there right now, especially my godson in Pinoy Retro Gaming, Ranji Pata. Hello, Ranji. He says, shout out po kami dito sa Fisher Mall because the Pinoy Retro Gaming is having a little bit of an event over there. We're participating in what is called the Retro Con in Fisher Mall. Maybe two people who have actually been there can have a short discussion on it. Sir Pao and Miss Charlene, how was the experience of visiting the Retro Con at Fisher Mall?
Ladies first.
Ladies
Okay.
first.
What a gentleman. Okay. All right. So actually on the RetroCon 2022 on Fisher Mall, it was good. Many people are actually really what do you call this word
Participating.
again? Yeah, participating. They really loved the experience of playing retro games. Also checking some of the booths there, like vintage stuff, like consoles, like that in the video. T-shirts, of
Toys.
their favorite games, toys, action figurine. There are a whole lot more.
And besides that, we in the Pinoy Retro Gaming community who is participating in this very convention,
Mm,
even though we've been just on the day 3 and 4, uh, we are also selling our merch merch for anyone who are interested, like t-shirt designs,
mm.
mugs that are what we call in Filipino tatak PRG.
Excellent, wonderful, wonderful. As you guys can see, and for those of you in the audio portion of the podcast, we are showing some footage of how things look with the Fisher Mall convention. Then it's a good thing that here in the Philippines it's starting off again with the easing of restrictions of hanging around public spaces and events. Here in the Philippines, there's this retro convention that Pinoy Retro Gaming is participating in, and you can see on the footage that's being shown on the screen right now that there are retro games being available to play for free play. I think here in the United States and over there in the UK that such things have been happening recently as well, right, Dan?
Yeah, I attended an arcade retro fest myself about a month ago, and that was absolutely fantastic. And it pretty much had like 95% of all the key arcade games that you could wish for. You know, Sega Rally, Outrun, Final Fight, Golden Axe, Street Fighter 2, Space Harrier, Afterburner, you name it, it was all there. So it's good to see something like this happening over your way as well.
It's very good, actually. We have somebody on the chat saying, "Paki-shout out yung may-ari ng mga retro consoles." Translation: please give a shout out to the person who actually owns the consoles that for free
Yes.
play, Mr. Raymond Orendes of Retro Freak Gaming, who
I mean,
sadly could
Our
not make
very
it
own Sir
tonight.
yeah.
Ray.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hi,
sadly
Ray.
could not make it tonight because he's actually manning. He was actually in the event itself, helping to take care of the booth. He brought along his mini consoles for free play. Anybody can come on over,
Ooh.
play the mini consoles that Sir Ray of Retro Free Gaming brought over, and all you need to do is just show up, show your cell phone, show that you followed the Pinoy Retro Gaming main page. Just click on that like, click on that follow, and you get chance to play your favorite games
Mm.
on the large TV setup on stage. It's once in a lifetime experience where you get to play your retro games in a gigantic screen on stage. Show everybody how you get beat up in Super Mario Brothers and how many times you missed that jump
Holy
in
ravioli.
in full public for all to see. The humiliation will be glorious.
The public
Okay.
humiliation.
So
And I
the
would like
event is being held at Fisher Mall in Quezon City. Am I
Quezon
right?
City. Yes,
And
in
they
Yes,
Quezon
that's
are,
right.
City.
and it's going to be held. I think it's a 7 day event, and they're
Eight
going
day.
to, and the last day will be on November 30th.
Yes, that's right.
Excellent. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. All right.
And
Mm,
I would
yes.
like to just I would like to just point out a side note on a certain thing that I just realized right now.
Mhm.
The booth behind the ones where PRG are is actually selling lots of old school toys. And I actually found four of them that are Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Oh,
And
okay.
Yes.
and how ironic it is that that there are two missing Rangers in that collection that they're selling. And it
Well,
happens to be that those two Rangers who have already passed away. Tuitran,
oh.
the Yellow Ranger, and JD,
Yes.
the Green Ranger.
I guess being the fact that they passed away kind of pushed the value of their toys through the roof. I wouldn't be surprised, right, Sir Pao?
Most probably. Because
Yeah.
only the red, blue, pink, and black were the ones left there.
Oh my.
Whoa.
Kind of bit
Tito
Well,
Joe,
crazy and at the
yeah,
same time
Tito Joe, they're selling
trivial.
LPs for new wave bands. Reflex, Wham.
oh, sorry. Say that again, Seabird. Say again.
They're selling new wave bands on
Oh
LPs.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
Seabird and I are huge new wave fanatics.
By the
So,
way, I just want to share as well because you
oh, go
mentioned
ahead.
the
Go ahead.
Power Rangers.
Mhm.
And Jason David Frank was the way I got introduced with Power Rangers because I'm not really a fan of Power Rangers back then because I grew up in the 80s. I grew up with Bioman. Then
Oh
there's
yeah.
I,
Mask Man.
Yeah.
mm.
So
Five man.
When Power Rangers came out, I just felt like they're like cheap imitation of those guys. I apologize. uh,
I kind of
um,
share the same feeling for that.
Yeah, there you go.
yeah,
Thousand
because
feels the same
but then
way.
again, Jason David Frank, just to let you know, guys, in case you're not familiar with him, he actually played in the MMA, so he has a clean record of
5
4-0.
and
I was
no.
able, yeah, he was a fighter as well, not just
I
in
didn't know
the
that.
in the
Dang.
space.
Whoa.
I guess he was
Yeah,
able to put his training to good use then, huh?
true.
True.
Okay.
He was.
Well,
But
there
maybe
you
the
go.
popularity of the Power Rangers franchise in America has pulled him off MMA to continue his role
That's
as Tommy
right.
Oliver,
He was good. He has a clean record, but anyway,
undefeated.
he
Hmm.
was.
All right. Okay. So let's proceed to the gist of the podcast, rage quitting. Let's see. I did lay out that it'll be about the frustrations that we've had with games that we've played. Let's set out a few limitations. It can be from any era. It can be anything from Pong to Elden Ring. If you guys have any experience with a particular game or anything related to a game, please feel free to toss in your experience, and we will be asking the audience to participate as well. If you guys have stories about how you rage quit the games that you were playing, please type it out in the chats. We will make sure to read it out and see if the panelists share that experience. Okay, let's see. Let me start off by throwing my first story. Well, my first rage quit story. It was a game on the Japanese Famicom actually. If you guys are familiar with Japanese Famicom, it's the Japanese version of the US Nintendo Entertainment System. And the game in question was, I'm sharing the screen right now. It's to Joe. It's called Transformers: The Mystery of Convoy. I'm not sure if too many people are familiar with it. uh, uh, Joe, if you can just throw it up on the screen. The idea of Transformers Mystery of Convoy is it's a Transformers game, but instead of Optimus Prime, you've got Ultra Magnus, my favorite Transformer of all time, as the main character. And it's a platformer. It's a run and jump. You shoot at enemies. You can transform, and you're basically going through a lot of stages where tons of enemies are shooting at you. If Joe can put that up on screen, Joe, can you show the people? The idea of it is that you're going up against all of these multiple bosses, multiple enemies, and it was severely frustrating. Anybody who's ever played a platforming game will know how really frustrating platforming games are. In particular, this game was brutally hard. Um, let's see. I'm not sure if Joe has shown the screen yet. I'm sharing the screen. Joe, you're muted. I can't hear you.
No, it's just the ads. God damn it!
Oh, the ads are being shown.
The
Okay, yeah.
ads.
So
I'm rage quitting right now.
there you go. The thing about this game, Transformers: Mystery of Convoy, I'm not sure if it ever went stateside, and I'm not sure if it ever got translated into English. But you really didn't need an English translation for it because of the fact that you were basically beating up on Decepticons. You were fighting big bosses, but it was brutally hard. And it was the thing about it is the thing that made me rage quit this game wasn't the fact that it was hard. I mean, I was young back then. I was a teenager. I still had the reflexes to be able to handle all of the runs and jumps and the precision timing of being able to hit the platforms and all that and hitting the enemies. But there was one part at the very end of the game where you had to go through a stage, and from beginning to end you would go over and over that stage. I had a feeling that there was a particular order that you had to go through that stage for you to be able to finish it. But that was the era of no internet. The internet hadn't been discovered. And as a kid, I must have gone through that stage a dozen times, and I was never able to get past it. So I never finished the game. I rage quit it, thinking this game is broken. Somebody must have misprogrammed it. Somebody must have not programmed an ending to it. So I never finished the game. I never got to the ending, and it was decades later when I found out through the internet that there was a particular sequence that you had to go through all the corridors of the game for you to be able to get to the final boss. I think it was Galvatron, and it was frustrating to me. So that was my very first rage quit experience. Really,
It
due
was
to lack
it
of
was the
information.
Decepticon symbol actually,
Oh, there you go. It was a Decepticon symbol.
like
That goes
multiple
to show
times.
you that I never got to the very end of the game because because of the fact that it was severely frustrating, and there was no way for me to find out this particular sequence that I had to go through in the corridors for me to be able to get to the end of it. So that was my rage quit experience. That's sad to say I never finished the game, and I don't have the what you call the reflexes to be able to go through it anymore. It's all right. So that's an example. Anybody else want to toss
So
their hats in?
so let me piggyback on what Sir Joe
Mm.
mentioned about this freaking game, this shitty game. So to give a little bit more context, so what you're controlling, I'm assuming is Ultra Magnus. Ain't no way this is Optimus Prime,
No, that's
despite
Ultra
the title
Magnus.
of the
Yes.
game says otherwise. Convoy is the Japanese name for Optimus Prime. That's what they call him, Convoy. So it's
Mm.
basically mystery of Optimus Prime. And if you're going to look at the sprite, it doesn't look like Prime. It looks like Ultra Magnus. And as far as the game design goes, so you're this big raging robot, right? And your bullets cannot go through the obstacles. No, they cannot. But
Mm.
the flying bullets, the flying jets, And the other enemies can pass right through those obstacles, but your
Oh,
bullets can't.
exactly. Yes.
And you are allowed to transform into your semi truck, yes, but depending on the situation, depending on the platform, and sometimes you when you plan to stop, you kind of slide forward, like slide forward, slide backward. So
Ah,
one particular hit can either can either push you to your doom.
I forgot that that one part of that one part. Joe did mention it properly. The fact that you did not have precision control over Ultra Magnus's movements. You could. It was a little floaty. I guess that's the right term for it. Dan, right?
Yeah,
When your character seems to not stop at a dime.
yeah.
When
It looks like his inertia doesn't look exactly on point, does it?
exactly, yes, the
It-
inertia doesn't allow you to stop on a dime,
Lots of
and
NES games are like that. Platform
yes,
NES games are like
floaty
that.
control, floaty inertia. You just felt like, oh my god, I better stop right here, and he just keeps going for a moment, and it causes deaths galore.
I mean,
Well, well,
the
it
thing
makes
that
sense because you're in space,
True,
and
very true, very true,
they
Seabird. Yeah.
actually he actually I saw it. It actually turns into a ship if
Yes.
it's now look at it now. It's like flying, but it's a new game for me, so might as well check this out.
You were about to say something, Dan.
no, just from the video, I've never played or seen this before, but from the video, I've noticed you've got a very small arc of fire. Um,
Yes.
so I can imagine all the combination of the dodgy inertia and the small arc of fire. Um, it can be a bit what's the word?
You know what?
Contradictory when you're trying to kill enemies.
It
Sorry,
took
Joe.
me
You
a
were saying,
while to realize that was Bruticus.
was it Bruticus? I am
In
not.
the video, in the video earlier was that the big boss earlier was Bruticus. Took me
Yes.
a while
For those of
to
you who
realize it's him.
are into the G1 G2 Transformers, a lot of the G1 and G2 Transformers show up, like Ratbat, Megatron, Bruticus, Ultra Magnus himself. Those pop up, and the Seekers like Starscream do show up as regular enemies or just the generic Transformers. So it's hard as nails. The mechanics are frustrating, and of course that final maze thing really got me. So I rage quit it. I didn't throw my controller against the wall, but it was a really frustrating experience for me.
I think there's a secret cheat code for this, so you can
Mm.
continue the game multiple times.
I think there was, yeah, and
Mhm.
it was, yeah, again during the time that there was no internet for me back in the late '80s. I think it was something like you just learned in the playground. Hey, this is what you do. Not in the playground or during recess time with all your friends. You guys would get to talking, and this would be some people would talk about the game. It would be lucky if you would find somebody who had that information and you would implement that in the game. And hey, it worked. Or some people might say no, that doesn't work. You're just yanking my chain.
You'd be lucky if someone actually plays this as well, because this game looks a bit too rare for me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Mystery of Convoy again never got ported into the US version. I guess the designers, well, actually Nintendo might have thought it might be a little too hard for people stateside or in the UK. I'm not sure if Dan is familiar with this one either. So that's my rage quit. That's the very first rage quit story that I can relate to everybody. Let's have the newbie this time. Pause in.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right.
Pause in.
Looks, looks like the bottle is pointed at me.
Yes, the bottle. We spun the bottle, and I stopped it, pointing straight at you. Tell us your experience of rage quitting.
Oh man, I have so many. I lost count, to be
Oh, but
honest.
but first things first, though. If Pausen can read a couple of the stories, a couple of the responses in the chats, it would be
Of
most
course,
most appreciated.
I the last time I checked on chat,
Hmm.
Ekoy Boholano
Mhm.
says my first rage quit was Ninja Gaiden,
Oh, good
and the
choice.
second one was Circus from Famicom. Was that the little
Mm.
guy, the pixelated circus guy, the one that
No.
Derek
Circus Charlie?
Punman
Okay.
is
What?
playing?
Oh, no, no,
Really?
no, no. Circus
It's just a
Freak.
different.
Da, 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 da,
That
da,
was
da,
Oh,
da.
I wonder what
that
level
was his
he rage quit from that game.
who
All of it.
Yeah.
Derek.
No, the trapeze. No, no, no. It's either the trapeze or the horse.
I would have said the high wire where the monkey would run up at you and
And
kick
the
you in the
Uh,
tightrope,
balls. I don't know.
the tightrope stage. Yeah, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
I don't like the horse part.
Or
Oh, the
maybe
horse.
or
Yeah,
maybe
that's
the
hard too.
balls or
Oh
maybe
yeah.
The
the ball
horse part,
balancing.
you can actually. It took me a while to realize that you can slow the horse down.
Yeah,
You
I
slow it
that's the one
down.
I hate
And
the part.
slow.
Run fast and slow at the same time. You have to hold the
Mm.
button while jumping.
I did not know that.
All right, pause then. Continue with this story. Let's see which one jumps to mind right away.
But I just want to point out as well, Sir Raymond's choice of game was Pepsi Man. I never actually
Pepsi
saw his
Oh
stream, but
yeah.
I know
Pepsi
Yeah.
he's frustrated.
Man.
And the last thing that I want to bring up as well is it's a new game called Getting
Mhm.
Over It. It's about a guy
Oh
Oh,
who
no,
Getting
getting
over
over
no.
it.
it.
yeah.
I've
That's the
seen
word
so
that
many I've seen so many people through their damn keyboard, their mouse,
Mm.
their
Getting over
freaking
it.
controllers
yeah, getting
over that
over it.
game.
Yeah,
Imagine
that
getting
game was
trying to
designed
climb
specifically to
up.
make you rage quit, I think.
Exactly. Imagine getting to climb up and falling down and doing it all over again.
Yeah.
No,
Getting
but
it over
You're
again.
actually you're just gonna have to use your mouse to go up, and go up until you reach to the space.
it just the first thing my gamer brains popped the first question that popped in my gamer brain when I saw that game, Getting Over It by Bennett Foddy, was why the heck is that guy stuck in a cauldron?
I'm not really sure.
Not
You
really
That
know,
sure
like
I
though.
didn't I
I
didn't
don't know
actually
what's
ask
the
that
meaning.
question.
yeah, the lower half of his body is inside of a cauldron. He's got this hammer that he's using to be able to get over all these
There.
obstacles. Like, wow, okay, he just jumped into the lake right there. That's definitely gonna kill you. Okay.
I think he was born with that pot
What?
with him.
How does he defecate? How does he
Well, he defecates until the pot is full and it flows and it fills up. I guess that's how it works. Or
and he
maybe there's
what
a
turns
hole.
upside down or something? Like,
Or maybe he turns upside down. That could be a possibility.
oh
We'll
my
never know.
gosh.
One of the
Fine.
mysteries in life, the pot guy who
Fine.
gets stuck.
It's one of life's little mysteries. All right, Sir Pausen, is that
Yeah.
the game that first pops in your head?
No, those are just one. I read that on the comment, and
Ah, I
I
see, I see.
agreed. I just
Okay.
want to bring that up. But for me, I got so many. I just wanna let. I'm sorry. There's dogs barking all of a sudden. I just want to
That's
let out.
fine. That's
I
fine.
just want to say something to myself. Yes, I love video games, but I
Nice.
have a very bad temper. It runs in the family. We get pissed off in very little. Can we swear in this, or this is my
Yeah,
first
Yes.
time?
well,
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah, right
sure,
now
Oh
go.
Yes.
we're
yeah,
gonna make an
I just said the
exception.
Yeah, go
synopsis
ahead.
To hell
and I
with the
said
family
shit
friendly
and
show.
balls.
Yeah, we already all heard that.
Nah.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
now we're getting special dispensation. We're asking special permission from the audience because generally we're a
Yeah.
family friendly show, but as of because it's
It's a
specific to this
rage
topic
quitting
that it's
Yeah,
segment.
rage
we are
quitting,
in
we
raging.
are turning the obscenity filter off. Go ahead, pause it.
All right, where was I? In a family we have it runs in the family. We have a very bad temper, especially over little shit. It really pisses off, especially me. I'm gonna rank my time from the worstest rage quit. I got so many things. I got so many Phantom Pain, Metal Gear Solid, from Silent Hills, freaking puzzle games, puzzle poetries that you have to solve, and Resident Evil. I got so many, but I gotta put on the one of my top threes, at least so far that I can remember. Number
All
one,
right, let's have it.
Oh.
the third rage quit that I have was just recent. It was none
Mm.
other than for me, Hitman 2 Silent Assassin. That game is broken as fuck. I swear. No, legit. The first time I played it, it was
Mm.
crack. It was pirated. I had my dad have it installed from our neighbor, so I had to install. That game's broken because the game scenes don't have any audio around that time. But I just want to bring out the
Mm.
latest time that I rage quit. This is literally just recent. A few weeks ago, I streamed Hitman 2 Silent Assassin. I just want to share it on my screen. This is the first time that I really gonna do this. All right, we can do that. Actually, I want to showcase my stream as well when I
Oh,
got
sure, sure,
frustrated.
sure.
This is from the Motorcade Interception. This is a mission called Motorcade Interception. Hold on. How do you share this? I'm sorry. Share screen.
Go to percent.
Mm.
So there should be,
Here we go. Here we
yeah.
go. I
So the
got it.
swatch
I
is
got it.
down there. So percent, and then do you want to share the audio or
Uh,
just the video?
no, just the
Just
video.
the video should be fine.
I'm cursing a lot
All right.
on this part. This is my recent Hitman stream. So this is called the Motorcade Interception. What he needs to do, Agent 47 uh needs to snipe a moving vehicle. I don't know if anyone played this, but this is one of the hardest or probably the hardest mission in Silent Assassin.
Mm.
Adding the game's stupid mechanics where you see you see a lot of people there, the orange moving cursors. Now the game here, the enemies here, the civilians are all eagle eye. They can see you a mile away. Even you just accidentally flick your gun, they will all be alerted and everybody's gonna be on your ass. I swear to God, I've continued this game for like more than 100. I'm counting on it around this stream. Now, in this particular section, I'm hiding towards a guard. So I've been doing this like 50 times now. I have a big gun. It's a anti vehicle gun that I need to use in order to finish the mission. My goal here is get on top of the what do you call the Muslim building?
The
I,
mosque.
the mosque. Yeah, that building. It's far ahead. It's far ahead from this map, but I need to get on top of that.
Okay.
My challenge here was getting past through it without the guards detecting it. I'm not allowed to disguise as an enemy because if they saw me with that type of gun, they're still gonna arrest or kill me. They don't arrest people here. They kill you instantly. So
Wow.
I'm trying my best not I'm trying my best to time my movements,
Mhm.
and I've done this so many freaking times. I just want to skip to the part that I really rage quit on this
Go
because
ahead.
it's hard here. So I managed to get on top. I decided to go to a different building because I really can't get on top. This place. This is the part where I need to go. This building right here. Now there are Arabians doing prayers.
Okay.
Once you get on top, you'll see in the middle part there are Arabians praying.
Yes.
When I get to the lat, I thought you can't be spotted at this point. Yeah, you see them. They're praying. Look at them. They turned their backs down, and they all of a sudden found out that I was behind them. They were praying like I swear to God, they were all behind me. All of a sudden, when my head showed up, they instantly wrecked me.
Man,
When
that game sounds broken like
It's like they
broken.
have
crazy.
I've
it's like they
never
have eyes on
seen
the
a
back of their
game.
heads.
Yeah,
Yeah. You will
you see.
really get rage around this one.
I'm already cursing. I'm threatening people. I'm gonna kill someone if I didn't do this. If I finish this game, I swear. Everything that I do, everything that I do everybody, I get detected all the time. So we're gonna skip through that. So this is the time that I decided to do it in a different building,
Okay.
much more closer. So
Okay.
here's the most annoying part where I rage
Mhm.
quit. So the most the most hardest part in this game is that you only can save two times.
Mhm.
So
Oh yeah.
you can't save once you've used the first one. You have to find a place where you can decide where you can restart again. So I decided in this building. So I'm trying to hide towards the soldiers
Uh-huh.
because they really have one heck of a freaking eagle eye. One
Mm.
pop,
Mm.
one pop of my head and with the gun, and they're going all out on my ass. I swear. Uh,
Oh.
so the motorcade mission. This is what I'm getting pissed off about. Look
Okay.
at here. Look at this. Look at that.
What?
Every time e- every time I put down the sniper rifle, I swear, look, it bounces like a fucking it bounces like a freaking basketball. I'm already pissed off. I'm pissed off at that point. I've done
Man,
this
that
like 20 times.
Dang.
Every time I drop the sniper rifle, it bounces off. How freaking broken this. Okay,
yeah, it
I've
sounds
managed to
like
put
the
it down.
game is it almost sounds like the game is a Bennett Foddy game where it's made to piss you off, really.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure if that's their intention or just they didn't look that up. That might be a developer's overlook.
Yeah, I'm sure
Hang on,
developers.
hang on, hang on, hang on. So is this okay? So I know for a fact that in Counter Strike you can
Throw it.
voluntarily drop your weapon, right?
Yeah.
Is this
Mhm.
supposed to
Mm,
happen?
It does.
No.
no,
No,
no.
no, no,
This
no.
is
Like
not.
so,
This
I
is not
mean,
how it's supposed.
yeah, I mean, points for realism. I mean, people can be clumsy. Actually, can be very very
Yeah.
clumsy holding
True.
their guns
No, but did you see
during a
how that gun bounced when he threw it on,
but
well, when he
still
dropped it on the floor?
Yeah.
It
a
was
bit of rubber.
like
It
Paul Zen said,
happened
it
so
bounced
many
off of the
times.
floor and flew away like a basketball.
See, look at that.
Look at that.
Look at
I,
that. It's almost at the edge. It's gonna stay there. Then it bounces off like a freaking basketball. I swear to God.
I
I'm
will
always
believe a
crying at that
Did
point.
the developers ever address this?
No,
Nah.
No.
And
Yeah.
no.
funniest thing
Around
is
that time,
the
nobody
Hitman series
cared.
is highly regarded. It's very highly regarded as a great game series for stealth,
Exactly. I love this
for
game, but
tactics and everything. But I guess these little niggling, these little issues went through quality control and they said, that's good enough. Just go ahead. They probably were under shipping deadline or something.
I would be fine about that bouncing thing if that's a grenade, but that's a freaking rifle.
That's true,
Wow.
Wow. That's very true.
I
Yeah.
heard of I heard of recoil, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah. Very true. Very true. My goodness. All right. That's Pao Zen's first rage quit story.
first rate
Hitman 2
quit.
Silent Assassin. And yeah, it is very much worthy of the rage quit label. Very true, Pao Zen. Okay. You said you had a couple though.
Mm.
Now this will be short and sweet. I just want to detail how much frustrating this game is. I
All
swear.
right.
Look
Go
at that.
ahead.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
Okay.
Now, this will be just short and sweet. But the worst thing that I can remember from my rage quit, it's not on screen. It's way back then when I was a kid.
Okay.
Uh, it
Mhm.
was the second one was Metal Slug.
Metal
Everybody
Slug.
knows that.
Ah.
Yeah.
Metal
Okay.
Slug.
Yeah.
Which Metal Slug
In
then?
Which version? Which version?
I think it was three, where Tarm and where the two girls are available now.
Oh,
What part is that? Metal Slug.
Mm.
it started
Mm.
from 2X and 3.
Two.
Yeah.
Maybe I can
When
recognize it.
yeah, when did Theo and the other girl debuted?
Eri and
That's
Theo debuted on the second one. And then on the
second one.
updated version of the second one, which is called Metal
Mm.
Slug X.
I see. Uh,
They
Want me
were
to
also in 3
showcase
as
this?
well.
Okay. Well, this is one of the first games that I got that I not only I rage quit, My aunt lives in the UK, and they always do balikbayan boxes. Where in the Philippines, one of your relatives brings you a box
Yeah,
from
it's a
another
care
country,
package
their
basically.
package
Yeah.
basically. So I have my first PlayStation 1 at that point, and I was really happy. I always wanted to have a PlayStation because I got jealous from my neighbors who also had that console. So
Mhm.
this is
Oh,
one of the
so
first games that well, not one of my first games. My first games was Medieval, where my mom taught me how to play. My mother was the first person. Mother first oriented me in video games. I wouldn't be able to know video games without her. So,
Mm.
yeah.
you
Much
mentioned
respect to mom.
PlayStation, right, Pau?
Huh?
You mentioned PlayStation, right?
Yes,
So
PlayStation
that's Metal.
was
So that's
yeah.
Metal Slug X.
Yeah, this
Because
I think this is the game. I think this is the
yeah.
game. Yeah, I just got so frustrated at this game on how many times I died. I actually every time I died and every time I died, maybe around 50, I smash my console. Like really smash it with closed fists. It's like I'm banging it. Then one day it didn't turn on anymore. I think that was about 2 months of usage. 2 months of usage of the PlayStation 1. When I told my father that it got broken, I blame it on pests that was ravaging around the house. I didn't say that I banged it so hard that it didn't work. It didn't turn on anymore. So they have to buy me a new one, buy me a new console. My father knows how to talk with my aunt, so bought me another console with it.
Ooh, that lie works every time.
Oh.
Yeah, that line works.
Woo!
Yeah, something
Now,
unsavory happens around the house. Just blame the pets. You know.
just blame the pets. Just blame on
Blame the
something.
pets.
Just blame it anything that's not you. That's not
Yeah.
you.
You
And
know,
and
console gets broken, food
yeah,
gets stolen. Bad air starts to permeate the atmosphere. That's the pets.
yeah, that's the actually I'm making a running joke with my friends whenever I
Mm,
lost in Tekken.
okay.
Most of the time that's one of my most recent rage quits when playing Tekken. It's really frustrating. That's a time when my mind when my mind runs into something that's hurting people when
Okay.
playing that game.
Like.
But I just want to tell one of my worst rage quits was my number one.
Mm,
It
Mm.
involves my cousin. We were playing Crash Team Racing in
Crash Team
PC.
Racing. Okay.
Crash Team Racing.
Oh.
I swear this particular moment in my life it embedded in me because it was really bad. My aunt was almost at the point doesn't want to talk to me of what I did to my cousin. It was around 2003. It was night. My aunt had a computer cafe, built a computer cafe along with a parlor. So there's a parlor is there, and at the side there's a computer shop. There were four computers that they use for customers to play, but my cousin, always occupied the first and the second. We were playing there nonstop. Most of the time, we were playing some co-op games like Counter Strike and Warcraft. Then we decided to play at that very night the Crash Team Racing on PC. So we were playing. He's actually very good at this game. I never actually knew the technique on anybody played here Crash Team Racing.
I
Do you
did.
know you did? Do you know what do you know the
But
movement where they
especially,
jump? They jump and drift. I never knew that.
Yes.
What do you call
I
that?
yes I do. The jump drift.
Can we showcase that Crash Team Racing ES1? There was
Oh
a
yeah.
trick that I did not knew. I only knew it just recently. One of my friends has the Crash Team Racing remake.
The
Uh,
nitro fueled.
the nitro fuel. My cousin never told me there was like that. He always That's the reason why he always beat me. You see the cart jumping while they're
Yeah.
turning when they're trying to drift. That's actually making them much more faster. I never
Yeah.
knew that. So
When
I've
they
been
keep on drift, look,
uh-huh.
when they keep on drifting, that bar on the bottom goes red, and when you press jump again, it will
It will
boost the character's
boost.
card.
Yeah, I never knew that. He never told me. I asked him. I asked him, how do you play this game? He never bothered telling me the mechanics. All he said is just push the
Selfish.
gas and just turn. That's it. But he never told me about the mechanics. He never told me about these secret pathings in order for you to
Oh yeah,
in order for you to be at
those
be at the finish line much more faster. He never told me that.
those shortcuts and
Given the
all.
fact that I have a very bad temper, I lost like multiple
Oh,
times around that very day, and I got so pissed off. I'm sorry if I'm sorry. This is not me anymore. But I actually spat him in the face, full phlegm.
Oh my
Actually,
oh
god.
my
I actually
goodness!
spat him in the face. He spat me in the
Goodness
face,
gracious, man.
and he punched me. I punched him.
Hmm.
We rumbled and we destroyed one of the computers. We toppled over a computer. He got really pissed off. We were crying. We were screaming, and my auntie was shocked that I did that.
Oh
Spat
my
my
god.
cousin in the face. Punch him in the face because of that. Because of the rage quit
Well,
scenario.
the pertinent question now is that how is your relationship with your cousin now?
We never talk anymore. Well, not we never
So
talk anymore. We were best friends, but we never talk just because of that. What happened? He
so
went away in U.S. very long time, and we never had a
okay.
communication.
So
Yeah,
Pausen didn't just rage quit the game, he rage quit the relationship too.
He went
My
relationship
away
was
to the
good.
US because of what happened.
Yeah,
yeah, right, Seaver.
I
No, no,
said, man,
I agree with Pausen. I played this game before, and if you play the campaign, no matter how if you're leading, no matter how far you are from the second competitor you have on this race, it's still gonna catch up on you.
I
it's
So
still
think
the
that's
gonna
game,
catch
called
up.
rubber band physics, right, Seaver?
the
Also,
game
mate,
is really unfair. Even the remake is still
It's
difficult.
still the
But
same. Yeah,
if
it's
you
still the
play the
same.
original, I agree. It is really hard.
Yeah, I think Seabird, that's called rubber band physics in racing games, where no matter how far ahead you
Far
are, the
ahead,
AI
yeah.
is
Exactly.
going to catch up to you.
So
It's frustrating.
if
It's
you
really
think
frustrating.
you're about to cross the finish line and someone else catches up on you, and that's one of the frustrating things about this game.
Yeah,
So
that's one thing that definitely one thing that you would feel like rage quitting over. You feel like the computer is cheating on you, like the AI is cheating, right?
no, the computer is cheating on you.
Oh yeah. Well,
Feel that
now,
way.
excellent, excellent inputs, Pausen. That's I can I that those are great stories, and definitely, I'm imagining that a lot of people in the chats are able to relate. Let's
Yeah,
have
thank
Joe.
you, thank you.
Yeah, let's have Joe read through a couple of the comments on chats to see if people are can relate to what Pausen just went through.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
just a half
so
of it.
a few comments in regarding with Pauson's games, specifically uh, with the what do you call that, Hitman, of
Mhm.
course. And then there are a few comments in regarding with Crash Team Racing. Says here, kart games are always the friendship destroyers, according to Rich World, Karius Jensen, and um, and of course the Metal
There's this
Slug.
one in particular from Richwell Carlius Jensen who says, "Wow, this game is so ahead of its time. It breaks the law of logic." Yeah, that's definitely pertaining to the Hitman game. I wouldn't be surprised, right, Joe?
And of course, the safest alibi,
Oh,
blaming the pets, according to
yeah.
Romel
Melvin
Buencilio.
TV of Core Gundam Plays, part of Pinoy Retro Gaming. If you guys want to ask about Gundam, aside if Joe is a little busy at the moment, to fill you in on Gundam lore, Romel Benzilio of Gundam Core Gundam Plays is the guy to talk to ask about Gundam lore. All right,
Car-
X.
Did someone
And
say
Sir
card
Carlo
games
has
are
been playing
friendship
12 hours a
destroyers?
day playing CTR. Yeah.
Hmm. Sorry, you were saying, Sir Pao?
Did someone say card games are friendship destroyers?
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Then let's not play Mario Kart anymore, please.
Not
Mario
exactly.
Kart, yeah. I'm
Oh, come
imagining a
on,
lot of
please. That's a
people.
really annoying one,
Well,
especially Mario Kart 64.
oh, okay.
I really
I
hate that
mean,
so much.
the blue shell thing and everything. All right, but first things first, though. I want to find out about Dan's experiences with rage quitting. Our resident Sega expert. I'm absolutely sure he's got a lot of stories to tell. But what rage quit moment jumps out, especially when we're talking about rage quit, Dan? When we're talking about that one moment where you just felt like whoever programmed this must have had a personal vendetta against me. Tell us your story, Dad.
Well,
Dan Rage Quit Faulkner.
well, I've got three.
Go ahead.
And I would dare say, if I asked you to guess the first one, you'll guess it.
Okay, go ahead. Now let's see. Don't tell me,
Shakan.
Sven. Don't tell me, Sven.
Chakan,
Shotgun. Okay, there you go.
I
without
hate that game.
doubt. And so obviously Chakan's a 1992 Sega Mega Drive game, and it's an action platformer, and it's a bad game, but it's got good qualities, and we discussed it the other week. It's got
Oh.
a fantastic atmosphere, a fantastic story about a fantastic martial artist who becomes undead through a deal that he makes with death. And it's a really alluring game for me. It's one of these that, because it gets the story and the atmosphere right, I really want to play it. But the platforming in this game is an absolute bastard. It is so, you have to be so accurate with each jump
Damn.
I just stressed. I had air before I played Chakan, and after Chakan, I had no air left. This is how I ripped it out from playing this. And I can't. I tell you, I can't pinpoint one specific frustrating bit because it's all frustrating. It really, really is. And it's a game that, because that atmosphere is so good, I really, really wanted to love it. I really tried to get into it, but when like nearly every time I play it, I'd rip my controller out. Nearly every time, it was just an absolute, evil game, really, an evil game. And the worst thing about it is the levels. I won't say the levels are long, but they're sizable enough, so you have to invest a bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you die very near the end, you start right back at the beginning. So it's a proper up yours, fuck off, do one. Do you know what I mean?
It's
So,
it's old
I
school
like it.
hard, except turned to 11.
exactly. And I'm all right with games that are hard, if they're not skanky. Now this has got good mechanics. There's nothing mechanically wrong with it. But you just have to be on point with
On point.
absolutely everything. And if you're not on point, if you're on point, if it gives you say 20 jumps to do, and you're on
Mhm.
point with 19, and you fail at that last one, you have to do all the fucking 19 again.
Again,
It's a bit stressful.
I can definitely imagine your how you feel towards this game. I can compare this most probably to the Dark Souls series. Dark Souls from Bloodborne from Sekiro, because that game, the way you mentioned it, Sir Dan, that game is built for precision and focus, total focus. You will die many times, and once you die, you do it all over again. I
Yeah.
think that's a comparison or similarity that I can bring up towards this game. So
It's,
I can really
it's
imagine it, honestly.
Yeah, it's a great comparison, mate. It is. I think this will be one of the games that Dark Souls was semi-influenced by. But the big difference between Dark Souls, I love Dark Souls, but the big difference between that series and this series is that Dark Souls you get your bonfires, so you can
Oh yeah,
break down your tough sections into smaller bite-sized sections. Whereas with Chakan, there's none of those bonfires. You literally have to go through a big section and not die at all. So
uh,
it's bastard. It is a bastard. So that's my first one anyway.
All right, there you go. Now let's have your other Rage Quit games then.
So there's two more. The second one, now Chakan, I still quite liked. It's got redeeming qualities. This game I fucking hate with a passion, an absolute passion, and that is Super Empire Strikes Back on the Super Nintendo.
Super Empire Strikes Back. All right, my goodness.
Absolutely
Okay,
detest this game.
tell us why.
Well, it's a 1993 game, so it's old school again, and it's another action platformer. But I don't know if you've ever played any of the Super Star Wars trilogy on the Super Nintendo, but they've all got really bad movement. Your character is like a feather. If anything pushes him, if a little bat pushes him, it will move him all over the place. Yeah. So you literally, it's very slippy sliding, and the first like 4 or 5 levels, can't remember exactly, but they're all, as you can see here, they're all snow levels. So there's a slight element of moving about and sliding anyway, and it is just brutal. It is an unfair game. This one, whereas Chakan's a fair game, but you have to do everything right. This one's an unfair game where between the player lightness and getting pushed all over, and between the enemy setup and the level setup, it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit. And I've rage quit this a few times. This is one that a lot of people like it because it's got a lot of Star Wars connection. And every time I read people say that they like it, I'm thinking you're either playing with cheats or you're using codes to skip levels, because to play it normally is just a pain in the arse, really. It really is. Although having said that, the bosses are really easy on it, so it's a bit of a contradiction. But no, this is a game that I've just don't like. Just don't like this one, I'm afraid.
Well, people probably like the game, because of the fact that you're swinging a lightsaber. Not like in the very first Super Star Wars on Super NES. You started with a blaster, and that was fine. But in my case, any game where you get to swing a lightsaber around is still top notch for me, and I feel like that might be what a lot of people are liking too.
Agreed, mate. No, that's exactly what I think. And it's got fantastic visuals. It's got absolutely fantastic sound.
Yes.
So you get that Star Wars connection, but it's just it's a messy. I'd call it a messy game. I'd call it a very messy game to play this.
It's
Sure, a Sega guy.
It's very floaty still, the movement, right?
Yeah. He's and as you're watching it here, he's on his tauntaun. So when he's on his tauntaun, he's not
on tauntaun, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But when he's on his feet and he's getting pushed about.
Is that supposed to be Han Solo or He-Man? What the hell?
Oh,
I
was going to say.
oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
He looks like someone who races in swords and shout, "I have the power."
It is.
All right,
looks
so
like
that's
He-Man.
game number 2 for Dan. Let's find out what his next game is.
Now the third one we've mentioned this one before. Now this is not like the other two. This is a brilliant game. This is a game I've rage quit many times. It took me a long time to finish it, but it's a fantastic game. And I highly advise everybody try this one because you will get years of play out of this. It's brilliant. But that's the Immortal. I played it on the Sega Mega Drive again.
Yeah,
Fuck
the
that
Immortal. That game is brutal.
Fuck that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously
yeah.
this one's the Immortal's
God damn it.
an isometric action adventure game, and your deaths aren't as reliant on skill as they are thought and planning and trial and error.
I remember that's one of the 24 games you asked me to play.
Yes.
True.
Yes.
There
Did
you
you
go.
play?
Yeah.
Did we get there? I don't think we got to that one, did we?
We did, and yeah, I kept on dying only on the first room.
Right. There you go. And I think I would say this has got the hardest first room in any game. I think
Now, this is
98%
interesting.
of people will die within a few steps. without realizing what's gone off in this game. So,
Was there a
yeah.
premise or show or an intro? Oh, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, mate. So basically, you're. It's an isometric action adventure game. Um, you've been summoned to a dungeon by your mentor, who's supposedly trapped in the dungeon. But then the story unravels from there to reveal a lot more to the story, really.
Looks like
But
yeah.
it's just a lot of very devious, shall we say, puzzles in this one.
What's he doing? Is he saving? Is that how you save in the game? It's like
Yeah,
he's
the nice
sleeping in
thing
a
about the
haystack.
Immortal though is that the storyline does take a few twists and turns, right, Dan?
Yeah,
And the whole thing, the whole you go for the storyline, but the mechanics are a little janky because of the fact that it's an isometric point of view.
yeah.
You're looking at it from the top of the screen, about three quarters down, and the puzzles are pretty, like Dan says, they're pretty devious. There's
Ooh.
moments where you make a mistake, and I guess for lack of a better term, a sandworm just pops up out of the ground and eats you whole, right, Dan?
Yeah, no, exactly, mate. This is one of those games that you can make it through, three stages into the game, and a decision that you made in the first stage will come back to bite you in the arse.
Yes.
So you can pick up. I'll just give you one example. There's a bottle of water that you pick up, and it restores your health. So most people in most games, right? Water replenish my health. Of course, you drink it. You're going to get more bottles of water.
Yes.
That's the only bottle of water you actually get, and you need that to revive a certain character. And if you don't do that, it's game over. But you
Pretty
don't read
much.
that certain character until about another 30, 40 minutes into the game. So it's a very, very punishing game like that. And that's just
It is.
when I first got to that character, I'm like, I'm not. I drunk that bottle of water 40 minutes ago, mate. I can't save you now. And then it goes, well, it's tough shit. You game over now. So,
Pretty much. Yeah. My goodness. Yeah.
Woo.
For those of you who want, like Pausen did say, this Dark Souls games of modern times probably got a lot of their inspirations from
From this
retro
title.
games. Think games
Retro.
like this one, like Chakan the Forever Man, the Immortal, the brutal, unforgiving type of games. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dark Souls series, the Dark Souls saga, actually got a lot of inspiration from these kinds of games.
well, it's funny you should mention that, mate, because on the intro of this, oh no, sorry, not on the intro, on the outro, sorry,
Ah.
on the outro of this, there is actually a bit where they use the term "prepare to die," which is obviously
Yeah, yeah,
a Dark Souls staple slogan. You've died,
yes.
prepare to die.
Mhm.
So I think you're very right, mate. I think this, I think is definitely a big influence on the likes of the Soul series. But it is brilliant. It is when you suss the puzzles out, they're really satisfying, and the way that they all when you seamlessly play through it, once you've got the hang of it, it's just I say it's a very rewarding game, an extremely rewarding game. So this is one that the other two games I'd say I won't bother playing. The Immortal, I'd say if you fancy a challenge, play this and play it without a guide. Don't play it with a guide, because when you do it without a guide and you actually overcome something, it just feels fantastic.
Yeah.
Mm,
There you
agreed.
go. Excellent, excellent. All right, so those are Dan's selections. Excellent choices all, and agreed. When it comes to how frustrating they can be, they certainly are top notch. Good choices, Dan.
Thank you.
All right.
Amazing games.
I would like Miss Charlene to say hi to everybody in the chats first before we go to Seabert's stories about which games he found most frustrating. Miss Charlene, if you please.
Okay. So most likely that we can see here is Pepsi Man. Pepsi Man, we already know what Pepsi Man is. All right. So here in the chat here, Star Wars, here
Yeah.
by Sir Carlo,
Mm-hmm.
it was mentioned here. And Dark Souls got nothing on this POS, says Sir Carlo. Richwell
What's
said, uh,
POS?
I have
What
no
does
idea
POS mean?
POS means.
Point of sale.
Point
Point
of
of sale.
Point
sale.
of sale, okay. And Richwell say that game is full of cheap depths.
You
I
see,
don't know.
I don't know. The thing is with Immortal, I get where he's coming from, and there are cheap deaths in it, but it trains your brain into a way of thinking. So,
Mm.
so
Yeah.
it's like Dark Souls. You know, when most people play Dark Souls, they're used to playing combat games where it's easy to destroy something, and they have to adapt to a different mentality. And the Immortal's the same. You have to
Yeah.
think first before acting. So when you get into the habit, it's not as cheap. It is. They are cheap deaths, but it's not as cheap once you got hang of it.
That's
So
true.
we got the lonely Nixie here. Speaking of the
Yeah.
rage quitting, have you heard of the ET game? It was
Yes.
considered as the worst game of all time and the cause of the video game crash of
I think I heard
19.
that game before.
Funny
There's no
story
Yeah.
sense
about that
playing it. Yeah.
Yeah,
lonely
I heard that game
Nixie.
before, E.T.
We we actually interviewed the creator of ET,
Really?
Howard Scott Warshaw, and yep, Sir Joel. Uh,
Yes,
tell us all
one of
about it.
our special guests in the past year. If you guys want to check out the archives, we had a special episode where we invited Mr. Howard Scott Warshaw to tell us all about his experience of programming the game ET and his other masterpiece, Yar's Revenge. And it was a great episode. If you guys want
Anyways,
to check out the archives of Timeless Gamer, you can check it out at Timeless Gamer PRG on our YouTube channel, and you can see how we conducted the interview with Mr. Warshaw. He is an amazing person, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and he's got a book out right now. If you guys want to check out the story uh, of Howard Scott Warshaw, it's Once Upon a Atari by Howard Scott Warshaw. Check it out. You can check out his book on Amazon and his website onceuponatari.com, if I remember correctly. One of the nicest guys you'll meet. He's got a book out. Great Christmas gift for the upcoming season. And this book tells a great story. He's also a great speaker. If you guys want to check him out, his website Once Upon Atari, and check out our interview with him at Timeless Gamer PRG. All right. So that was
Nice.
so
that
as
was a
far
good.
as ET goes, guys, he can never get tired apologizing for ET.
Yeah.
Every single time.
So it
He he,
is.
uh, he basically owns it now. I mean, like for every frustration, for every and rage quit, sure, he understands it quite well. He only made the game under the worst circumstances. Hey, it was Atari. It was the 70s. It was the early 80s, guys. So
I think it was six
and
weeks, right,
the
Joe?
limitations of the technology at the time. So
Yeah, it
let's
was
give him some
this.
slack.
It was a game made in 6 weeks, if I remember correctly, right, Joe?
That's right.
Within 6 weeks, guys. I mean, what can you do?
All right. Now, with that,
Anyway,
I would like to pass the mic over to Siebert. Siebert, I'd like
I
to hear your stories about rage quitting games. I know it's going to be horror centric this time, right?
In a way, yeah. Because
Okay.
I actually wanted to comment on that game with what Miss Lonely Nixie
Oh, go ahead.
just mentioned. Because I actually played that game. I used to have an Atari back in the days, but it's one of those games that because when you say rage quit, you're actually playing a game you like that you quit it on.
Yes.
Unfortunately, depending if it's the platforming issues or
Mm.
those but that game truly had no sense. So it's not something you can rage quit on, but it's a total trash. I apologize to that guy you just interviewed,
Yeah.
but it was a trash. Um. Anyway,
I think we should showcase
I
the gameplay of that ET game.
yeah,
Can
it
everyone
had no
showcase it?
Yeah.
sense.
We can do that a little later
what
then.
All right.
what game is this?
Yeah, the
They
ET one.
emulated ET on screen, but the gameplay it had no
Oh,
sense.
ET.
You had no point of what you're going to do
What
on
the
screen.
hell?
Just
What the
move
hell is?
around up and down, and yeah, I was one
Frankly,
of those people who actually dumped it
frankly, it's just
when
there.
Actually, we did play to prepare for the Howard Scott Warshow episode. I did try to play ET, and
And you failed.
at first I tried to play it blind, without going through any walkthroughs and anything. And yeah, it only took me 5 minutes, and I said, "Oh, fuck this! I'm looking at I'm looking at the walkthrough."
Okay. So so it's my turn because there's a lot to mention because
So
I just
many.
wanted to pick
Yeah,
yeah, exactly, because
might
I
as
just
well.
wanted to pick the genre. So I'll just mention a genre because one of those games that I tried to like, there's your ET. So you're just going left and right, so
That's the
it
game. It looks like a
practically didn't
fetus,
have any sense. Exactly.
like a
So
goddamn fetus. It's,
Well, apparently the point of the game is you're supposed to look for different parts of his ship, or something like a communication device. So
yeah.
it's scattered all over the map, and you're supposed to put all of them together. So you need to collect all of the pieces, and then and of course avoiding the people who are trying to stop you in getting getting back home to your home planet. It's confusing if you didn't read the manual actually,
There's
and who reads the manual anyway?
where's the manual exactly?
If
I think I did in Metal Gear. There's a manual in the CD case.
Nintendo released this and called it Pokemon, it'd sell millions. I tell you.
exactly.
The most rarest Pokemon of all Pokemons.
Have
Looks
you
like a
kept the
fetus
original
though.
cartridge of the game? I had it. I no. Unfortunately, I dumped it. We never
Unfortunately, he sold it.
back in the days we never knew that games can now be
Can be
go up.
worth.
It can go up in value. When we had
Yeah,
games back in the days, yeah, we never realized that. So
yeah. I
it's
actually had
kind of
that kind of thing.
frustrating in a
Hmm.
way because we had some of the games that shoot up in prices now, and if you look at it, it's some of the games that you actually had uh, as a kid.
You
So
see that
there's
decreasing number there at the bottom. So if that reaches zero, then you're dead. So
Okay.
it has a time. It kind of has a
Oh,
time limit.
I thought it was.
Mhm.
I thought you need to consume every number. That's why it's decreasing, or maybe the mileage of it, the distance, and where exactly is
It's
the
more of a
piece of shit.
mileage thing as well. It's like for every step he takes, it decreases. So you really need to be very cautious on where you go, and very wise on how you're going to avoid the uh, that guy chasing after you.
All right. So it's
You
my
want to
turn,
chase
guys.
that.
So I just want to make this quick because I there's a lot to mention, especially the Souls game. The Souls game is easily one of the picks of probably everyone when it comes to rage quitting games. So I don't want to mention that. So I just wanted to mention some of the games I have that I'm still looking forward into playing. And Sir Dan is actually a Sega guy, and he loves shooter games. So I really tried my best, tried to appreciate shooter games. So I actually have a few of
Oh
them.
shit!
I one of those games I sold recently, and I don't feel about selling it. It's R Type Delta.
It's like
So
good riddance to bad rubbish.
so I actually have one of we actually talked about this. It's Robo Aleste.
Ah,
So
What is
Robo
that?
Aleste, Robo Aleste. Is that how you
Ooh, Robo.
It's
pronounce it?
beautiful.
Alestra. That's a
It's
nice
beautiful,
case.
yes.
It's like a
And
steel case.
but if you play it, I couldn't pass even the first stage. But it's a beautiful. I agree. Honoka. So I suck at it. It's shooter games is one of those genres that I easily rage quit on. So that's one of them. So
As you probably can tell, Siebert, I quite like the LS series.
I see. I was going to mention
Got
that.
that on poster.
Okay. Were you able to finish that game?
Not mate. I've not long had
Showcase
got
that.
Robo LS.
'Cause the thing is, if I don't know, because everyone's shooting you all at the same time, and you're
It's a bullet hell
Ah,
game.
okay.
Bullet hell.
exactly.
Bullet
So,
hell.
Fighter.
so
I think it's. I
well,
think
Dan told me there are more seriously difficult game as this one, but yeah, it's already my patience is not made for these types of games. So
The, the
I'm keeping
problem
it.
with games like
You're
the problem with games like this, it's easily you can be easily distracted by smoke, debris, and the miniature explosions that by instinct you would try to avoid them, and then you realize, oh shit, I'm heading straight to an actual bullet.
Exactly.
Then you die.
my eye perception can't perceive that.
it's you see.
Too fast.
I love the LS series. I've played played all of them now. Robo LS I've only just got because it's on the CD, and I didn't have that as a younger lad. But the Leicester series itself, I think is fantastic. You've got to be into shooters to enjoy it. But I can also see where Sasiba is coming from because they're not. Most of them aren't. They're not forgiving. Whereas Musher at Leicester is probably the easiest one.
Oh,
Musher,
is it?
I'd say so. Mush is easy. Mush is easy, mate. Mush is easy. Well, I say easy. A few of the later stages and the last boss is a little bit tricky, but Mush is generally, I think most people should be able to beat it within a relative short space of time. Musher.
That's right. By the way, I'm also a Sega guy, so I'm really a big fan of Sega as well. So I relate to Dan and his games and his group actually because I've been playing a lot of Sega lately. So I really have a lot of backlogs. So I'm piling up on my collection and actually playing some of them. Some of the games that I wasn't able to play back in the day. So hooray to Sega! And actually,
I've been really enjoying watching your posts, mate, of all the games.
yeah, I decided to play actually most of the games I had in my collection because it's fun. It's fun. Some of the games that we played back in the days, I'm just finishing it now after 30 plus years. So no, let's not ask for our age. But anyway, so one of those games that I really hated on the Genesis. I'm pretty sure you guys are familiar with this because I was able to uh, not cheat my way up until to the final boss, and this is one of those games.
What is that?
It's
Robo
RoboCop versus
RoboCop,
Terminator.
Robo
What?
Terminator.
RoboCop?
Terminator
Yes,
was a
versus
collaboration.
Terminator. So
Wow.
if you play this game and because the bad part about this game is that if you get the final boss, so unfortunately it will take you an hour to actually defeat the final boss. So no kidding aside, it's really difficult. So it's a platformer. You just it's there's Schwarzenegger.
This is for
See,
Mortal
Uh,
Kombat.
Genesis does look at the Genesis graphics there.
True, Genesis. But it's like a fighting game.
That's for
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mortal
it's more
Kombat
Mortal
11.
yeah,
yeah,
that's
this is a
Mortal
Kombat.
Sega
Kombat.
game.
Ah, yeah.
Uh,
Cutting edge graphics right here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ouch.
I mean,
Nah, not this one, of
who
course.
would really win? Who would really win?
This is the one, of course.
Hey,
That's
wait a
the
minute.
one.
That wasn't.
Yeah, I remember that.
Here we go.
There
I
you go.
remember this.
On the last part, go to the last
Ah,
part.
that's
The
the
head.
RoboCop then.
Yes.
That's just an intro.
Oh.
Yeah, it will take you like if you go to the final boss. It's Sergio, go to the final boss. The rotating
This one?
head. That one,
This one?
yes. That will take
Right.
you at least
How many
If
tries you have to kill this one?
I
no, that's the thing. I wasn't able to finish it,
Ouch.
so
I
I
I
just ended up playing
KitchenAid.
the
There
I
you
can
final
go.
boss.
actually I can actually
KitchenAid.
see the how tight the attack of that
Just
boss.
a quick word from our sponsors.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I only wish.
Oh,
KitchenAid.
sponsors.
Yes.
Good choice, Siebert. I think canonically, well, not canonically. In the comic book series, I think um the Terminators, Skynet was actually derived from RoboCop's AI or his programming. So that was he in the comic books he
Mm.
felt like he was responsible for how Skynet developed, and I think that's one of the reasons why he went up against it. That's what I remember. I think it was also written by Frank Miller, the guy who wrote The Dark Knight Returns.
I
Yes.
see.
Oh,
Yeah, I could be wrong on that, Siebert.
All right. That's good to know actually. And
Mm.
like I mentioned, there's a lot to mention. I have games here that I'm still yet to finish. There's this PS1 game, it's Blasto.
Blasto,
So
yeah, okay, I
if you
remember that one.
play platforming games on the PS1, one of the problems with games back then is the platforming. If from
Mhm.
jumping from one platform to another, it's really difficult for me. And there's this Death
Death
Trap
Trap Dungeon. Oh, I
Dungeon,
remember that one too. Yeah.
another game that I had difficult playing with. And one of the games that I was able to finish lately is Nightmare Creatures. So
I never played that one. I kept seeing that around, but is that a fighting game,
it
Siebert?
is. It is not exactly a fighting game. So you're like in the setting is like in the
I like the graphics.
medieval era. You're trying to there's a story revolving behind it, but
Yeah.
Mm.
if I'm not able to recall, well, it's not exactly fighting. It plays like more like
Mhm.
it plays more like
Like a beat 'em up.
beat 'em up. Yes,
Okay. Hmm.
uh, PlayStation One style. So
Okay.
there's this game I wanted to mention that I
These
rage
nightmare
quit on.
creatures.
Like yeah, so this game I've played it like several times. So I've been playing it for years.
Okay.
So I've been playing this for years. I wasn't able to accomplish it. It's a good game. I love playing
It
it, but
is.
I,
That
I
is,
not that game, but I'm
oh.
referring to this game, Siren.
Ah.
Siren. Okay.
Siren.
Siren,
Siren is now we're getting into Siebert's forte genre. Siren then.
exactly. This
Mm.
game
I
I've been
played
trying to
that
play
game on the
this.
PS3. Yeah. Blood
Yeah,
Siren.
that
Is it the same?
the PS3 version is actually a remake of the
Oh.
Oh,
first game, which
it's the
is
same.
this Siren. Yes.
Okay. I actually played
So
that.
the problem with this game is the sidejacking is difficult. When you say sidejack, it's
Yeah.
because you're in this Hanuda town because that appeared when the siren when the son of the siren appeared, and actually your enemies here are Shibito. Those
Shibito.
are like zombie characters that are enemies of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So the problem with the game is that the reason why it's scary at the same time is because when you get near a Shibito, you have that ability to sidejack what they see. So it's a stealth game. So you
Mm-hmm.
actually need to know where they're going to so that you can actually go around them.
Yeah.
So that it's not like a fighting game. There are certain mechanics that you can use to actually avoid them. So you can use axe, you can shoot them. There's a gun, but
Stealth.
the whole point of the game is for you to go from point A to point B in a stealth mode.
Yes.
So this probably I haven't finished this yet. I have to be honest. I've been playing this for years. Ever since I got it, I wasn't able to finish it. But like what Sir Pausen just mentioned, the game that I finished is not this one, but this one. This is the
That's the
remake
one. That's the
Siren
one that I
Blood
played.
Course.
I,
So if you're familiar with New Translation, that's the Japanese release. So, but it doesn't matter if it's because this wasn't released in the U.S., so it was only released in the U.K. and in Japan. So the Japanese version is titled New Translation, but they're the same thing. So if you have the Japanese version, it's still English, so you don't have to worry. So it's just that the title of the release that's different. So it's the same. It's the remake. So they just polished the controls and the side jacking. So good thing about it is the story. Though they changed the story a bit with regards to the characters, because in Siren the character is Japanese, but in Siren Curse they mixed it with an American.
yeah.
So the character there might be different because the way the characters were actually used, they imaged a real person. So you might see the difference, but the storyline and the gameplay is actually the same.
I
So
see.
if you're able to finish this, I I, I salute you guys, but this is really difficult, and I was able to play and understand the game because of this PS3 version. So it's really difficult, and at the same time it's really scary. So this is one of the scariest games released on the PS2. You must have, and I really recommend that you try it, guys.
Yeah.
All right,
It is a
excellent
fun
choices,
game.
Seabird. What made you want to rage quit this one in particular, Siren Blood Curse? Is it the difficulty? Is it the fact that it's
Oh no,
the
this one it's the difficulty.
the
So
PS2, the
because
difficulty?
That's why you
the
didn't manage to
PS2
finish
version,
it.
yes, because it's
Yeah.
really hard. Because if you're because it's really scary. I have to be honest. You should guys try to play it at
Let me
least
try to stream
for
that.
that's right.
He rage
It's
quit
scary at the same time
because he
because
got scared.
no, aside from that, because it's really hard. The stealth mechanics is really hard because you're sidejacking. You're looking at the views of the shibito of your enemy.
Shibito.
So you're trying
Mm.
to steer away from the direction they're going.
Mm.
So it's something that's confusing because the game is really dark at the same time.
Yeah.
So you have no means of knowing where to go. So you're just if you're able to actually avoid a shibito, and
You're guessing. Yeah.
another shibito will actually appear. So there are several shibitos on that dark setting of the game that makes the game harder.
One
And
of the creepy, yeah, one of the creepiest thing can happen in your on that particular game is that when you're sight jacking, your screen turns into split screen. One
exactly.
vision is yours, and the other vision is the monster, the
And you're
shibito, or the
sidejacking
enemy.
different enemies at the same
Mm.
time because near where you are, so you
Yeah.
can actually change sidejacks from different shibitos or
Yeah,
enemies.
when you
So
sight jack, you don't know exactly their location, and all of a sudden you'll bump into them. That's the
exactly.
I got a really good jump scare at the remake. I was walking along the hallway, and I sight jacked the enemy. Little did I realize that the Shibito was walking towards my direction. I was just you're just idle when you're sight jacking. So
Exactly, because you
when
need
you
to
see
know
them
where they're
walking there,
coming from.
and then you realize they were going in your path all this time, and what that's what scared the shit out of me. I swear,
It's a fun game. Good thing you played that.
I
Hey,
did, I
okay.
did.
All right, good choices, Ebert. Good choices, all of them, and worthy additions to potential streaming in the future, right? Right, Fazed?
Yeah.
There you go. All right, so I good suggestions. I would like to hear the opinions of the lone flower among the thorns right now, Miss Charlene. If you're ready with your inputs as to which games you had the rage quit experience with, I'd like to hear them.
My rage. Okay, so that would be the first one would be Pepsi Man.
Mm.
Second would be Sonic Spinball, and third would be Street Fighter.
Well, tell us a little bit about what made you rage quit Pepsi Man.
First of all, on Pepsi Man is the obstacles. The
Ah,
Yeah.
obstacles on
okay.
Pepsi Man, and plus, worst part is the time limit there. If
There's
you can't
that.
reach the
Yeah.
if you
hmm
can't reach the time, you're dead.
For those of you who are not familiar, Pepsi Man is a game on PlayStation 1
Yes.
whose main character is the embodiment or their mascot of Pepsi. And
Yeah.
apparently he's not extremely strong, he's not extremely fast. He's just basically a human guy in a suit, and
Yeah.
a lot of crazy obstacles get thrown in his path for him before he can actually reach his goal of getting to a Pepsi machine. So tell us a little bit more, Miss Charlene, about how unfair you found the game.
Well, the story here about Pepsi Man is just well, he's just mission to save people here. Fight against a lot of obstacles, enemies. All you just have to do is just complete the level. That's all. Just avoid obstacles. Just reach the goal. How that's how the game ended, non-stop.
Did
It's
you
a
get a
fun game
Pepsi?
actually.
Did you get a Pepsi when you finished it?
Yes, I did, but so far not that much because it's really annoying when I'm playing that game. It's like you're going left and right, jump and dodge all the obstacles there. The more difficulty it gets.
It
And but
looks terrible. It looks
yeah,
absolutely terrible. I have to say. I think
true.
it looks like you know there were that era between when two D switched to 3D. That
Yes,
they were still finding the feat with programming in 3D, and it looks just like that. It looks like they're just trying to find the feat with it because it looks very messy.
true. So true. This is which is why I didn't finish that game. It annoys me so much. It rages me a lot. It makes me want to throw the controller out.
I
Although
gotta.
it has made for many fun moments while watching people stream this game, particularly
Yes,
Mr. Neil Trinidad of Neil Chills. It's so much
true.
fun watching people go nuts try to finish the game. I highly recommend it. If you don't like frustrations, don't play it. But if you want a
Yeah.
fun time, watch somebody play it.
Yeah, I would suggest myself that I would watch somebody play it instead of me. It's a really, I would really rage that really quick.
You
Makes you wanna
actually
throw it.
requested it. You actually requested me to play it.
Yeah. Also, someone requested me as well to play that, so I tried playing that. They said, "What? How many times did I tried doing finishing this obstacle course? Like, oh my god, I'm about to give up now. I really wanna throw this controller on the window.
Mm.
Example like this one,
Close the
this controller.
window.
There
Yeah.
makes you want to throw this.
All right. So game number two was Sonic Spinball, correct, Miss Charlene?
Yes, that's right. Sonic Spinball.
Well,
So
describe what Sonic Spinball is all about and what makes it so frustrating.
first of all, on Sonic Spinball is that going ups and downs. Which platform are you going in to get? You have to kill all the enemies first before getting the emerald, because each courses here in the Sonic Spinball, you have to collect at least 3 emeralds before you get to the boss level. That's just really annoying. Then once you still haven't beat it, you have to go up again and get get all the emeralds. It's like repeatedly going ups and downs. If you fall off like from the lava or slime or goop, you will die. There, something like that. And that's how you're going to have to beat Dr. Robotnik while on that game.
This is actually one of my pastime, Jen.
But, but
Son.
it's really annoying. And actually, to be honest, yeah, it's really good though. But it's really annoying me. I'm going up and down. It's like, I
It's a
keep on going up
pinball
and
game,
down.
though.
Why?
I love
It
pinball
is.
games.
It is.
Yeah, it is a
Pinballs are
pinball
awesome.
game. But you need to collect emeralds. If you wanted to open the gate to defeat Doctor Robotnik,
It
the
doesn't.
harder the game gets.
It doesn't play quite like a traditional pinball game as well, does it, Charlene? There's a certain platforming element to it, and that can be a bit
True.
confusing at times as well.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might put a crimp in my gameplay of it then, because me personally, I love pinball type games. I love
Yeah.
Pinball of the Dead. I love what you call this a Flipnik on the PS2.
Yeah.
Senran Kagura Peach Ball
Hmm.
on Switch. I love pinball games. So continue, Miss Charlie.
Okay, so this one, Bear, basically you need to have to collect all the have to open all the gates, the obstacle courses here, during while you're spinning pinball like that. Say for example that just avoid the lava, avoid any enemies that you are dodging against you. There, most likely there are basically more shortcuts here to get the emerald. These emeralds over here, yes, once you grab them, you'll get to the next stage. It will unlock each gate if you try to beat an enemy or an obstacle. That's what annoys me so much about this game. And once you already finish the game, there it says there at the ending, Sonic beats Dr. Robotnik. So basically
I
it's
was
just
able
only a
to
loop.
finish this, but it's one of those pastime games I normally play
Yeah.
when I'm
Yeah.
not doing anything.
That one. So how many of you actually played this game? So I know basically it's like a pinball game, but for me it's like a half platform and a pinball game at the same time.
Yeah, yeah,
Have you guys played Devil's Crush?
yeah. I love
Devil's
Devil's Crush.
Crush.
Love Devil's
Devil's
Crush.
Crush?
Yeah,
Never heard of
that's
that
a
game yet.
good pinball game. It's a pinball game.
Yeah,
Same as
Mm.
what we're looking at right now.
that's probably my
So,
favorite.
yeah,
Favorite.
I love that game. I'm looking for a copy. It's really expensive.
How much?
Yeah.
How expensive is it?
Now let me check. But
Yeah.
last time I checked, it's around.
Let me have a look.
But it's expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a modern remake. I not a remake, more like a tribute. I think Seabird. It's called Demon's Tilt. I'm not
Demon's
sure. Oh, there
Chill.
it is. Dan showing it off right there.
Oh,
I've got
nice
I've
one
got
then.
all I've got all my Mega Drive games packed away, apart from four, and this is one of them.
Aha.
I've not got packed away
Mm.
because they're in a different area.
Oh, there you go. Well, although
Yeah.
that gameplay that you just showed, Miss Charlene, I'm intrigued with
Yeah.
it. I might actually play that sometime in the near
Yeah.
future. Again, like I said, I love pinball games.
You should try
And
it. Actually, it's on the Genesis Online. If you guys
oh,
have actually a Nintendo Switch, you can actually play that.
there
It's
you
really
It's
go.
selling
annoying
around
me.
$100. Dan,
Is it?
on eBay.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. Complete
Wow.
copy.
Wow, it's really expensive.
But by the way, Sonic's Pinball is released on the Game Gear as well as the on
Yes.
the console Genesis.
Nice.
So
Yes, but that's a different version of on the Game Gear. Basically, they're more on focus on the Genesis version, so quality is really good.
All right.
Okay.
A quick message from 123 Go Retro. That's Juan de Marcos, 123 Go Retro on twitch.tv. Addiction
Mhm.
Pinball by Team 17 is a great pinball game. Highly recommended. I'll check that out, JDM. JDM is one of the Pinoy
Yes.
Retro Gaming members. He is also one of the people that I look to when it comes to the obscure games, one of the connoisseurs of the obscure. And
Yeah.
all right, Miss Charlene, what was the last game that you were mentioning earlier?
Street Fighter.
Rock
Oh,
Street
Ah,
Fighter. All right.
I don't need to offend
Which
guys.
one?
oh,
I
really?
mean,
You
there are a
Well,
lot.
you
Which
rage quit
one?
on a game that you can actually beat me?
well, first of all, some of the boss levels that I hate most is Bison. First of all, Bison.
So I'm getting
And I
Street
Bison.
already
Fighter
know
too then.
Psycho Crusher.
Whee!
Psycho Crusher. Second one would be Blanca, doing the super spin, and also Honda as well. E Honda, Sumo. Yeah.
Dan right, Dan right here loves that part when I do the super roll and you countered me
Yeah.
with a grab.
Not exactly, but most of all, I never dodged it.
I love
That's
that. I thought that was for you lot who don't know. Pow played his missus on Street Fighter, and it was blanket and did an attack roll. And
yeah.
when I watched it, I thought, right, he's gonna floor her because you would expect that to happen.
That's
Somehow
right.
she grabbed him in the middle of the roll, which I've never seen done before, and threw him. And look on his face were priceless. So it was a very good moment. Mate.
I never knew the super roll can be countered with a
I
throw.
didn't not until
Yeah.
that moment. No. So yes,
Yeah.
The character I hated the most there is Sanjeev.
yeah.
So
Asengib, you do
if
you mean the
you play
the
it,
spinning?
yeah, that guy. If you use the character, it looks weak, but if you try to compete with it, it's really strong. So I just want to mention Mr. Justin Balyao, who's on the comment section right now, because he's one of those. As Sir Carlo Ray mentioned, he's the shmup guy.
Oh,
He's like
sweet.
Yeah.
he is. I've seen him post some of his collection. He's really has a huge collection of shmup games.
Nice.
So
yeah.
hello, Sir Justin.
I've
And
seen his comment here. Yeah, he mentions Veritex, don't he? He says, um,
True.
Quite a wall of text.
Whoa.
first,
One more thing, I still got butthurt handed to me on Greatest 2 Arcade. First half of Stage 8 is so difficult. If you're lacking firepower, then you also have Raiden series. Raiden series. All right.
Wow,
Snapper
that's
tanks with little. So
it's
many
yeah.
games.
Ride and Trad and all that good games.
Yeah, true.
He says, where's it here? From what I remember, Veritex on the Genesis Mega Drive has a final boss, which in its third form demands practice while staying put in a safe zone with the right weapons to destroy it. He's got that absolutely spot on. Yeah. You have to stay in a little tiny zone and move around
crazy
very,
games.
very slightly to avoid an absolute hail of bullets. So he knows his stuff. He knows his stuff. Justin does.
I played a lot of Twin B, by the way. He mentioned something about Twin. I played a lot of Twin B back in the day, especially in the Famicom days.
yeah. Twin B.
Just trying,
Which one?
just trying to
Which
catch
twin?
those. The
Which twin B
Famicom.
do you like? The part one, the part two, or the part three?
I'm not sure what part that is. The part where there's a cloud that you need to shoot. That the bell changes color.
Ah, it's the part one. You played the part
Is
one,
it?
the
All
first
right.
on the
I
Famicom
played a
version.
lot of that back in the days. Anyway.
Every Twin B has those mechanics.
yeah,
Oh, every TV. Okay. I just played the first one. The first one.
true.
All right. So, excellent inputs, Miss Charlene. And
Thank
now
you.
that the missus has given her inputs, let's see the counters from Sir Pao. What is Sir Pao's choice as to rage quit games? The games that he found the most frustrating, the most unfair, the most unbalanced, the most unjoyful to play.
All right. So before I could give my own, before I could give my own idea, I would like to mention our lone viewer on YouTube, which is my current student, a grade 5 student, Margot C.
Hello.
Rosario. Hello. Thanks for joining us on YouTube, but you can join us on Twitch and Facebook as well.
Yes.
Now, now for me,
You know.
rage quitting only comes in two ways.
Mm.
One, when you really don't like the game because of everything that's in it or how you play it. And two, if you are trying to achieve something in the game that you have accidentally achieved the first time. Say for example, I have this rage quitting that happened when I play Battle City for the Famicom. Because there was this one point where I actually reached the final stage 70. And after beating stage 70, it only looked back to stage 1. For 13 long years, I have tried to repeat the feat over and over again, but failed to do so, all because I am very careless when I'm already at full power. You know, especially when you hit the turbo button, you are you are what do you call this? You will have a possibility of hitting that falcon base right there, especially if you're not careful shooting south, and especially on stages that are totally open. Almost no obstacles to block the path, and especially your falcon base. And we all know, even though with that 13 lives as shown in our screens right now, and for those who are listening in our audio versions, even with the 13 lives, one hit on that falcon base and it's all done.
Does it? Oh, look good.
Yeah. And when you're in the very far stage, say for example 55, I get to 55. I accidentally hit my falcon base. I can only say damn. I can only say damn it. All because I am trying to re-achieve what I accidentally achieved at first. So there.
I played that
So
a
there.
lot back in the days.
Yeah, we play almost every
Battle
90s kid
tanks.
Battle City.
Battle
But
City
if
pala.
there's something that I would like to call my epitome of rage quit, I would say Adventure Island.
Oh, super, super.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nintendo one.
For for three for 3 or 4 times that I tried to stream that freaking game, I got stuck.
Which one? One, two, or three?
The first Adventure Island.
The
I
first one.
got stuck at Area A3 for 6 hours and still was not able to finish it. Damn that A3. I ended my stream abruptly after getting frustrated only because of that freaking Area A3. The second to the last stage of that freaking game. I
This
am
one?
only level away.
Is it this one?
I think that's the next. Oh
How
no,
about this one?
next level.
This one.
There, that's the
Wow.
A3. Especially on the last segment, uh, on the area with
Oh
how
shit.
many platforms were there? I I think that's 7 or 8 consecutive platforms that keep falling as soon as you step on them, and it gives you less time to respond to a jump to the next platform until you lose your lives over and over and over and over and
Oh shit.
over.
Damn.
That's not yet the platform part. Wait for it. Watch watch until it reaches the segment 4.
Well, let me ask you something, Sir Powell. Is it unfair though? Is the level design unfair?
It's quite unfair for someone who cannot time their jumps correctly. Oh,
Mm.
there. We're almost there. We're almost that part. Platform, platform. And bots are coming as well. Platform, platform, and more platforms.
It's like a time loop. You're looping.
Yes.
So I don't know if you know, mate, but this is a reskin of the Wonder Boy series.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes. I agree.
So that's not exactly known for its ease either.
I have spent more hours in that A3 than any other level of that game. If only I can reach this final stage, I won't take that much long. Provided I have that weapon. Because if I don't, then maybe I'll have until level to rage quit.
Do you like? Did you like the game itself, mate?
Honestly, I still like the game though, and I'm still looking forward to finish it. It's just that I'm a loss for words.
Oof.
Yeah. Oof.
All right. That was your second game. Was that right, Sir Pao? Or was it your third already?
And that's actually my only game that I rage quit.
Okay, there you go. All right, excellent input, everybody. I think we can pretty much generally wrap up the inputs here. I guess the about the only thing that I can say with regards to the Rage Quit episode is that the lessons that we've learned with the games that we've encountered, all of these Rage Quits. Me personally, I can say that um, the thing about games that are frustrating, badly designed, hard, and everything, I learned one thing about them. You learn that giving up more often than not is not the solution. The thing that I learned from games that made me rage quit, but afterwards I would stop and think, wait a minute, maybe I can still try it this way, or maybe I can try it that way, or something. That's one thing that I learned about games that made me frustrated. It's the fact that you want to go back to it. You want to give it another try. You want to give it one more go. And it taught me persistence. It taught me tenacity. It taught me how to try to think around corners. I guess that's the main takeaway that I got. Also, the other takeaway that I got was when it got too frustrating, it's perfectly fine to leave a game. You don't have to really plunk down so much time on it if you're not enjoying it anymore, because you're not getting paid. You're not getting paid to play that game, unless of course you're streaming it and then you're earning money
Yeah.
from it. But yeah, rage quitting is fine if it gets too frustrating, because we play games to have fun. I mean, what is everybody's take on it? What is everybody's input? Yeah, just everybody toss in what they think.
Maybe I'll apply those lessons after finding out how to defeat that first boss in Shinobi.
Mhm. There you go. How about you, Dan?
Yeah, mate. I mean, I think that the key thing with rage quitting is break it down into: is it a mechanically bad game, or is it you need to think a different way to conquer it, like you've just basically alluded to. Like with the Shinobi boss that Pow struggled with. Once he saw it done, it became easy. So it's just training your brain to think, wait a second, if I try this approach or try that approach, how far can I get?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's finding that it's finding your breaking point in it, and for me, my breaking point is always when it is just mechanically annoying. Just don't waste time on it, sweat it off. But a lot of very good, clever games have mastered the art of trolling the player and then making it satisfying to overcome, like the Immortal, like we spoke about. So it's just just got to try it ain't you, and see how you go.
Well, that's it. That's basically our takeaway too.
Yeah.
Yes, Miss Charlene, go ahead.
Oh, for me, as I would say, I would just keep practicing. Even though I would rage, even though I was new in the game, I will keep training hard to to my best to finish the game. Like win those obstacles, being the shinobi.
Well, there you go. And
Yeah.
and of course Siebert. I'd like to hear what Siebert's input is
Well, you have Google nowadays.
nowadays. Yes.
If you
Yeah.
compare it back in the days, we never had Google. We never had that pleasure of actually checking some of the games. We have that option to buy a magazine
Mm.
that will help us progress in a game. But it's much easier now because you have lots of resources you can get hold to when regards to beating a certain game that you're having problems with. I just want to mention this, guys, because Sir Justin Balyao is on the on the chat room because I was trying to remember how we got transacted on. I got this from him. It's a Famicom game. It's Ibaki no Kyutaro.
Hmm.
So I've been fond of collecting Famicom games these days. So I got this game from Sir Justin Balyao. Thank you, sir. And I'm really into those good old days collecting classics. Anyway, thank you.
All right, excellent. All right, so I guess the last thing for us to do is to pass the whole thing off back to our MC Supreme, Joe. Up. I think your sound is off, Joe.
Oh my God, I've been.
It's all right. It's
I
all
would like
right.
to thank everybody who I'm rage quitting right now. So I would like to thank everybody in the panel, sharing each and everyone's experience regarding with this particular topic, which is rage quit. Where's Pausen? He
He got
gone.
You might
disconnected.
have you
Yeah,
might have
he
got
rage quitted
disconnected.
too. All right.
Sudden power outage, as he mentioned. He will join back
Oh, you
Oh,
immediately.
got a power outage. Okay, that's
oh,
that's
so the power rage quitted on him. All right.
yes.
He would
So
rage.
we will just do one hour quick. Um, I keep forgetting. So
Shameless plug.
our shameless plug. All right, Miss Honoka, where can they find you?
Well, you can actually find me here on Facebook, Honoko 99 Gaming Studio. I'm also as well live. I also play on Twitch as well, Honoko 99. So do give me a follow if you wanted to join me and play awesome retro games like Mario Kart or Sonic or fighting games like Smash. And also, please do follow Pinoy Retro Gaming for more awesome contents for events, retro games, variety games,
Up. I think she
All right, we
gone.
got to
I think
disconnect there too.
I think the
Okay.
internet connection rage quitted on her too. All right,
Yeah.
Sir Pao,
Sir
take over.
Pao.
Most likely, they're pretty much sharing the same connection. So,
Oh
how
my
about Sir
goodness.
Siebert?
So you can actually catch me at my Facebook page, Siebert East Retro Games. So I've been doing a lot of not lately, but I do a lot of customization with regards to console. It's a hobby, and I played a lot of games. I'm actually active with Sir Dan's group because I've been playing a lot of Genesis games lately, and I still have a long list of games to play. And also here at Retro Gamers, Timeless Gamers, that is, in Pinoy Retro Gaming.
Excellent. Okay.
All right. Thank you for that, Sir Siebert. How about Sir Dan?
Yeah, obviously, come back and see us at Pinoy Retro Gaming and Timeless Gamer. And if you want to check out some of the Sega Genesis stuff, as you can see behind me that we've talked about, join us at Facebook, the Sega Genesis group.
All right. And about the Rage Master for tonight, Sir Joe.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us tonight. You can catch me at my Facebook page, Banyagang Native. You can just type in Banyagang Native in the Facebook search bar, and you can find me. Also, you can check out twitch.tv, Banyagang Native. I also stream more often there than not because of the fact that Facebook has been hitting me hard with copyright restrictions. Twitch has been much more forgiving, much more lenient to me. So you'll find me more on twitch.tv under Banyagang Native. And, just hanging around in general. So you guys will see me when you see me. All right, back to you, Job.
All right. So just a quick advertisement. So once again, we're inviting everyone who can attend the Retro Con at the Fisherman's Mall in Quezon City. Um, uh, RGCP Retro Gamers Collectors of the Philippines and Pinoy Retro Gaming and G3 are all there representing the retro community. Lots of merchandise and free play over there. Just head to Fisher's. I keep saying Fisherman Mall.
Yeah, that's
Fisher
fine.
Mall.
That's fine. It's
It's
Fisher
the Fisher
Mall.
Mall.
Yes.
Fisherman Mall, Fisherman's Horizon. God damn it! So the Fisher Mall, they are there until November of the 30th, 2022. So you still got time to check it out, see what you can find, and of course we are also going to advertise. Um, Speaking of the Retro Gamer Collectors of the Philippines, they are going to have their year-end event coming December 3, 4, that's a Saturday and Sunday of 2022 at the QQ Mall basement level, Quezon Boulevard in Quiapo, Manila. Quiapo, Manila. So so the GCP Retro Gamers Collectors of the Philippines will have all of their top sellers. So basically, a convention. All of your gaming needs are there. All video games, consoles, paraphernalias, accessories, etc., etc. So it's a weekend, guys. So if you can spare the time, and be sure to prepare your wallet. So most likely you'll end up spending one way or another at the year-end event, the RGCP year-end convention. So, and of course, just to plug the show itself, um, our archive shows can be viewed at the YouTube page of the Timeless Gamer. Just search in Timeless Gamer PRG, and the audio versions of our show can be heard by going to Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcast. And once again, guys, in regarding with rage quitting, maybe it's just the poor controls, maybe it's just poor game design, maybe our lack of reflexes, could be all lack of patience. It's sometimes it's just a mixture of all of them put together. So be kind to your consoles, be kind to your controllers. Okay, there are other ways to vent out your frustrations. uh, and once again, I would like to thank everyone, especially down there at the chat. So, Bernal Drew, Rosello Reyes, Justin Boliao, Sir Jomar, and Tito Jano, Chance Hosteen. Pausen is not here, but he's there. He's there at the chat. 123 Go, the Lonely Nixie, Rich Wealth, and all of the guys who were. Oh, and of course, Sir Carlo, who was supposed to be here, but of course, connection problems. But he's there at the chat, urging us on to fight forward. Thank you, Sir Carlo, for being at the chat. Hopefully, we can see you sometime soon. Hopefully, and of course, guys, our games and bodies may grow out of date, but our gaming experiences will forever remain. Hey,
Timeless.
so much.
Timeless.
Bye bye.
All right, guys. See you again next time. Bye.
Timeless.
Timeless.